Am I the butthole for refusing to pay bills for a house I house-sitted a month ago? I don't really think I'm the butthole in this situation, but the family member, her boyfriend and her mum sure do. Although the fact that the family member recently lost her job due to the pandemic does make me feel like I'm being an A little less than a month ago, I decided to house sit for a family member and her boyfriend for a week while they were going to see their parents. I knew I wasn't getting paid for taking care of the home/feeding their pets, but was okay with it because I live with my parents and a week away sounded like a dream come true. House sitting went fine and I'd pretty much forgotten about it until today. The family member sent me a PayPal request with no explanation. She requested $184 and I immediately called in her and asked why she was doing this. She stated that it was my share of the bills for when I stayed. I was in shock. I told her I took a week off of work to care for her house free of charge, and she said that I still had to pay utilities. Keep in mind, I was never once made aware of this, otherwise I would have told them to get lost when they asked me in the first place. I told her to go F herself and hung up. Ever since she's been messaging me saying she's going to call the police and tell everyone on Facebook about what a horrible piece of crap I am. I haven't responded to any of these messages and don't plan to. Am I the butthole? Update: she ended up posting about me on Facebook and the overwhelming majority of people on there defended me, some of them calling her stupid and laugh reacting. Safe to say she deleted the post and blocked me after that, and I haven't heard anything since. According to my cousin, she's posting quotes about being betrayed and how family ain't crap. NTA. Send her a bill for pet services. The going rate in my area is $70 per day. This should have been discussed beforehand, not argued about afterwards. And if she calls the police, let the police know about her marijuana stash. She won't call the police because she knows they will piss themselves that she thinks she is owed money by the house sitter. ETA, not the butthole. It's a civil matter, cops definitely. NTA. Click, cops definitely. Laughter, click, cops definitely. F off idiot. Click, cops, definitely. Bang bang bang. Cops, maybe. Definitely, if relative is black. I hope they charge her with misuse of the emergency line. Better still, send her an invoice for house sitting. When she doesn't pay, call the police and report her for theft of services. This so much, Dad's ex-girlfriend stole his brand new $80K truck. Called police, as she didn't live with him. Was told it's a civil matter. And posted on Facebook. Then everyone she is vaguely associated will know how ridiculous she is. I love that she thinks that's a threat. Oftentimes these people aren't going to tell the whole truth. I let Original Post stay at my house for a week and only asked for a portion of the utilities they used, and they told me to F off. On a real note, $180 for a week of utilities doesn't remotely add up, not to mention Original Post was doing them a favor in the first place. If I was Original Post, I would say fine, I'll just deduct that from the bill I'm going to be sending you for the week of house sitting, since we're now arbitrarily changing the initial agreement. I was going to say that my bills can add up to $700 per month, but that's high-end summer. Winter is more like $400 for electric/gas/water, sewer, and garbage/internet. Either way, dick move on relatives' part. Op should bill $100 per day for house and pretty sitting services. I'll see your Facebook court and raise you one civil court. I'm going to go and assume you have a decent-sized house to run that kind of expense, and though it is certainly possible Op's relative does have a nice-sized house and could accrue such expenses, as someone else pointed out, which I hadn't even initially thought of, with just Original Post living there, things should have been cheaper, at least for the week she was actually there, unless Original Post was leaving all the lights on and blasting the heat, leaving TV on, etc. Also, they likely billed Original Post for a portion of things like internet and or TV, things that though Original Post might have utilized but would not have actually been affected by the amount of usage. I think the main issue here is that Op's relative didn't see Original Post staying there as work or doing them a favor, and likely felt like they were doing Original Post a favor by letting them stay in their house alone for a week. It really should have been a mutual, I get to stay at your place for a week while I'm also taking care of it, free of charge for everyone. Instead, they want to bill Original Post, so Original Post should bill them, and I feel anywhere from about $500 to $700 is reasonable for a week's worth of work. I was thinking this too. If this is in the US, there's no way this makes sense unless they live in a mansion. That's $736 a month if they split it by 4 weeks. Which already is wrong because presumably their electric and water usage went down the week there was only one person in the house. I used to live in an average house in one of the highest utility cost states, and even with AC running, our utilities never went over $400 in a month. And our AC was undersized for our house, so it ran fairly constantly in the summer. I double-checked for inflation, and apparently that's still the average for a 2,000 square feet house there. If it causes trouble for OP, she can actually be charged. This woman is severely lacking in intelligence. Yeah, imagine trying to have someone killed by the police over this. Laughter to other 911 operator. Hey guys, I got another one for the stupid call board. Get this, the 911 operator. Bro Stupid Bingo is a game I used to play with my team at a call center. I used to do one a week with $50 prize for the winner each week. Senior management found out after a year or so and said I was being inappropriate, so sadly I wasn't allowed to run that engagement program anymore. It was a lot of fun for the employees while it lasted. I used to pet sit and would be paid about $350 to spend a week at someone's home caring for their pets. They never charged me utilities. This person and your family sound like serious Oz. Yup. I paid my friend $150 to house and dog sit for a long weekend. She didn't want the money, but I knew she had better crap to do with her time but chose to help us out instead. Up, you are NTA. The bozos you helped are. I can't imagine handing over a bill to someone that made my life easier for a week. Douche canoes. Agree, I paid a friend $15 per day to let my dog out and spend an hour or two with her, new job, long hours, etc., till we both acclimated to it. He was doing me a huge favor, I'm sure he had better things to do. I sometimes stay at my folks' house to take care of their dog if they go on holiday for a week. Well, I consider him my dog because we got him when I was a teenager, but I since moved out. I do it for free because I'm happy to hang out with my pup, and my folks' place is nicer than mine, but at the very least my parents will send me enough money to cover groceries for the time I'm there, and the cost of petrol driving to and from their house from my place a couple cities over. Plus free use of all utilities, including heating, electric, Wi-Fi, washer and dryer, etc., and full access to the snacks and alcohol cupboards. Still works out much cheaper than paying for him to stay at a kennel. The audacity of asking someone to pay utilities when they've done you a favor, saving you hundreds? Yikes. NTA, OP. Also add to that cleaning services for each and every day at whatever going rates your local maid/cleaning company goes for. The pet care adds up too. I took a week off of work to care for her house. Add lost wages to the bill too. I was waiting for someone to mention this. She should have replied to this money hungry that she took off work for a week that she don't owe anything. Plus the cost of house sitting. I suggest you ask the minimum wage in your area, or more, x 24 x number of days. Then deduct the utility bill from that and take a hefty check. Oh, it was understood that you'll be paid just like it was understood that you pay bills. Didn't they realize? Don't forget overtime. And if you took a week of work, your weekly pay should be the absolutely min requested. Yeah. Let's say you house sit for a week. At $15 an hour and 1.5 times overtime for the time over 40 hours, you should be getting about $3,480 in wages. And onto that, another $560.80 per day, for pet sitting and walking, and you are looking at $4,040 she owes you. NTA. Don't forget once you hit 40 it's 1.5x that for the rest. Yeah, per pet. I also can't believe she's paying $184 a week for utilities, even per month. That sounds high. I wonder if they're including things like cable and, I don't know, caviar of the week club. I bet they are including cable, internet, streaming services. Even then that's a big-ass bill for a week. Winter, in a cold climate, and if their furnace is crappy, I could see it. I had oil heat once in an old building, and during winter that alone hit $500 in 1 month. I very quickly got that crap replaced with gas and redid a couple windows, haha. Then there's sewer, electricity, gas, water, all the hookup fees associated. Still feels like a lot, but it's believable. One reason I rent these days. Fewer surprises like that. Edit, NTA. Totally bonkers that they ask for you to pay to watch their house and pets. I was purely saying the actual cost of utilities does make sense in some situations. I'm in a relatively expensive area of the country. All this is $125 per week for my home, and I have an electric car, which adds to that significantly. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw cable/internet/Netflix/Hulu's or Amazon Prime in there. What weed stash? Did original post edit the original post? No clue what you're referencing. He's obviously just effing around. It would be a pretend threat. Well, it was super out of context and would be a butthole move to try to use drug laws to punish the family member for something totally unrelated that may actually be legal where they live. NTA, of course, but he should send her a bill, minus the $184, and say the rest is due in a week or you will go to small claims court. Just threaten, not to actually go through with it. That is a great idea. And original post is definitely NTA. Never heard of someone charging for someone else to house sit. It's absurd. For me, it's $150 per day if they spend the night. I don't know what minimum wage is, but send her a bill for $5 an hour. 5 by 24 hours x 7 days. Equals $840. Assume one pet. 5 per feeding days. 5 by 7 equals 35. You'll pay her $184 when she pays you $875. Offer her a discount and charge her $2 per hour. Still works out. $350. NTA, you were doing them a favor. If they had put the pet into boarding or elsewhere, they would have a much higher bill. A week at market rate is between $350 and $700 anyway, since full-service house and pet sitters charge $50 to $100 a day. And if you hire a pet sitter or house sitter, you don't get to charge them for utilities. If you don't want those to go up, you can board the pets for $50 to $100 per day each. Holy moly, I'm glad I live where I do. I can board our dogs $20 per day per dog, and that's with their vet. Well, now I feel underpaid. I took care of a fiend's rabbits. Fed them, had to go to the store and get fresh veggies for them, and every week I changed their litter box things, and there were 5 freaking boxes because he has 4 rabbits. He paid me $200 a week. Which to me seemed like a lot until reading this thread. I did it for a whole month. Money was nice, but I really didn't enjoy it. He moved over the weekend, so now I don't have to anymore. Money was nice though. Edit. I have never ever gotten this many replies from a thread that already had over 1,000 comments. Pretty fun. I took care of my aunt and uncle's cat. I'm a nurse and the cat was sick and needed specific meds at specific times, so they knew I could handle it, and their house while they were gone on vacation for 10 days, and they gave me $250, but I still think it was pretty fair because my aunt made me a bunch of food to eat while I was there because she knew I would also be working, and it cut my drive to work in half, and I got out of my parents' house for 10 days laughing out loud, so it was a pretty good deal. Sounds like a fair deal. They essentially paid you to take care of the cat, but there were other benefits, not monetary. Emo, it's okay to have a friend factor when you do this kind of thing. The market rate people talk about likely is from people who do this for a living, and report their income for taxes. So, you're doing it under the table and won't have to pay on it later, and you're helping out a friend. Yes, of course you should always value your time, but there still is value in doing something like this for under market rate. If you were doing it as a side hustle before your friend asked and offered below market, then that's a different story. Right, when I get a house sitter I pay $50 a day. Also bill her for your lost wage since you had to take a week off of work for it. We haven't traveled in a while due to the pandemic, but when we last went away, it was well over $300 just to board our dog for the time we were gone. NTA, preempt her by making your own Facebook post. Here's gratitude for you. I mind X's house for a week, free. I feed their pets for a week, free. Now she is trying to bill me for the utilities. Thanks for the awards. LOL, make it a GoFundMe post. X is in such dire straits that they asked me to pay for utilities for the week I house and pet sit for them for free. I had no idea it was so bad. Please donate here to help. This is so petty, I love it. It's petty, but it's exactly the right move. You can't fight fair when you're arguing with irrational and/or selfish people. You have to use the same tactics they do. The only way to get them to drop this ridiculous request is to take control of the narrative before they get a chance to. The relatives asking Original Post for money are going to frame this as "Op stayed with us for a while and refused to contribute to household expenses." So Original Post has to get the real story out there first. Lamau, this would definitely make you an ah, but it would also be very funny. This would definitely make you an ah. Why? Maybe she legit in financial trouble. Like who would in their right mind ask house and pet sitter to pay? Because the intention is to humiliate. Because travel costs money, even if you're staying with family at the end destination. If you can't afford the bills while someone stays at your house for a week caring for your pets for free, an act that could have cost several $100s, you probably should save the travel money. An ah, sure, but not the ah. A critical distinction. Justified butthole. I would donate to this just so it can trend. Someone do this. Don't forget that he saved her pipes since it's the winter, and by using water throughout the week he prevented her pipes from freezing. He potentially saved her money by having showers. Assuming they are in the northern hemisphere. Unless it gets super cold, just having the heat on keeps the pipes from freezing. So the point still stands. They needed to run the heat whether Original Post was staying there or not, so charging for the gas bill is stupid. Unless Original Post turned the heat up to 95°F or something crazy. You don't need the heat comfortable though. You could easily keep it in the low 60s or maybe 50s. Still something to pay for, but quite a bit less. Yeah, my last apartment required the heat be at or above 55 at all times during the winter to prevent pipes from freezing. Yes, do this. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.